This is CBC Here and Now.
Hollywood comes to Dildo. The name is now high on the hill above the town. Tonight we're live again in Dildo as the excitement reaches a fever pitch. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Jeremy Eaton. All eyes are on Dildo tonight, and that's where Here and Now's Carolyn Stokes is. The big question, will Jimmy Kimmel be making an appearance? For nearly 2 weeks, he's been obsessed with Dildo, but is today the day he finally shows up? Carolyn, what are people in Dildo saying about all this?
Well, Jeremy, I've been here all day, and I tell you, Dildo is bustling today. There are people everywhere, cars lining the streets. I've talked to so many people, and the first question that everyone is asking is Jimmy Kimmel coming? And that's certainly the rumor, but I have to say, we're out here in front of the brewery right now, and it's pretty quiet. We don't see him coming from any direction, so who knows? We really have no indication about whether or not he will actually show up. It's all complete rumors, but one thing we do know is that his sidekick, Guillermo, was hot on the campaign trail. This is what aired on Jimmy Kimmel Live last night.
Hi, how are you? What did you say? Oh. Hi, sir, how are you?
Not bad.
Are you gonna vote for Jimmy Kimmel?
Of course.
Yeah?
Who isn't?
Oh, great, great. You're my type of lady. Come over here. Oh, welcome. Hello? Hi. Hi, guys. Hi, family. Let me go see if you have something to drink. Where's the legal cabinet?
Right up above.
Do you got any tequila?
Mr. Dog, what did Jimmy needs to do to win your vote?
He needs to bring me more trees and bones.
I was doing his voice. Where we going next, guys?
OD stands for our dignity, our name will never change. And I stands for the innocent child who should never feel ashamed. L, we fought for liberty, and D for days of old. While O spells out that loving word that we all call Dildo.
I'm the king of Dildo!
And that was a clip from the show last night. Now, interesting, Jimmy Kimmel did say on the show that he'll see Guillermo tomorrow. So that has been one thing that's sort of been fueling the speculation as to whether or not he's going to show up. And Mark Quinn joins me now. Mark, you've been here all day. What have you seen around town?
The question, of course, is will he see him on camera or will he see him in person? And there's all kinds of rumors going around about how he's going to arrive and on a plane, in a submarine, on a boat, and who knows what's going to happen. But today,
helicopter, I heard.
Maybe a helicopter. But today, we do have some breaking news. We know that Matt Damon may be interested. Of course, we know Jimmy Kimmel is interested in being the mayor. Today, we have a third candidate, Sharon Cole, who also wants to be what she calls the mayoress of Dildo. Here's what she had to say.
Somebody from Newfoundland needs to run against Jimmy Kimmel,
that it's election
and
night.
there needs to be a mayoress. He's a mayor. I'm going to be the mayoress, so he got good Newfoundland competition on his back. Well, everything should be supported locally here in Newfoundland, and I'm a prime example of that. Why should we bring in someone from away? We got enough CFAers here now, Sherby. I would make sure that Dildo stays as a traditional Newfoundland community, and I would make sure that all the people's voices are heard, and we drink more beer than you can make in a year. That's what Dildo's all about. But what happens in Dildo stays in Dildo.
Now, we can't guarantee that video is going to stay in Dildo. It might end up on Jimmy Kimmel's show. We'll see. But Sharon Cole really sort of was very exemplary of the mood here. This very festival-like. It's like a carnival here. And there are people, though, who have reservations about Dildo, and they wonder if Jimmy Kimmel's making fun of them, if he's laughing with them or laughing at them. And I spoke with a woman here in town, Trish Smith, who's selling T-shirts, and I asked her about that, and here's what she said.
So I made a shirt for both myself and my husband with that phrase on it, which is, there's a little dildo in everyone. Again, I thought it was funny. it has taken off, the merchandising aspect of it has taken off tremendously. There's been so much publicity because of Jimmy Kimmel, and I thought, why not go for it? We live in a community called Dildo, and as such, you have to expect that there's going to be so much ribbing and poking fun. That's just because of the name. Even when he said, when he posted that picture of that t-shirt that said, there's a little dildo in everyone, like it has kind of two meanings. So yes, people come here because of the name. They want to get a picture by the sign that says dildo, but when they leave, the little part of dildo is what they see around them, the hospitality, the talent of the local people. That's what they're leaving with.
And of course, it is still Jimmy Kimmel Watch, and personally, I haven't seen him. None of us have seen him, so we don't know if he's going to show up or not. But certainly we do know that tonight there's supposed to be a big party at the Legion here, and we were also told there will be fireworks around 10:30 tonight, perhaps. And it is election night, so there's a lot happening here tonight. And of course, we'll keep watching to see if Jimmy shows up. Carolyn?
Thanks so much, Mark. That's Here Now's Mark Quinn. And what a gorgeous evening here in Dildo. Ashley Brawweiler is here as well. You must have brought the sunshine
I totally did.
with you. This is just fantastic. It's been a great day.
It has been. Mentioned the chance of showers yesterday for the area. They are moving. They were here. They were just a little bit south, but they've now cleared off. But we are seeing showers for most of the province, even some lightning for the northern peninsula and the southeastern portion of Labrador. That will continue for the next couple of hours, and as we head through the day tomorrow, it does look like we're in for pretty much a similar day to what we're seeing today. No significant rain as far as I can see, but we'll look there and head to the weekend when we come back.
Great. Thanks so much, Ashley. And we'll be right back with more from beautiful Dildo.
Thomas H. Clark has sold more than $1 million worth of legal cannabis, but this business still can't make ends meet. He says if the province doesn't make serious changes, then independent cannabis retailers could get burned out. That story coming up.
Bell Island residents have been saying it for years. The water coming out of their taps isn't fit for consumption. Now they say it has gotten even worse in recent weeks. Here Now's Malone Mullen visited the community, and here's her story.
Now, I imagine you think this is a special broth, but it isn't. It's good old Bell Island water.
That's Joan Ash, a Bell Islander fed up with what's coming out of the taps. Her wife Carla can't do laundry, brush her teeth, even shower, never mind pour a glass of the stuff.
I don't even give my dog the water from the taps. I don't give my nieces and nephews water from the taps. It's disgusting, and even when it is clear, you're afraid because you don't know what's in it.
This isn't a new problem or confined to the Ash residents. People across the island say their water has taken on suspicious hues before, but this year it's particularly gravy-like, spurring an online petition to get the problem solved for good. The town says it's that color because of dirt and manganese, insisting despite how it looks, the water is perfectly safe. Still, even the mayor has reservations.
But I mean, even I wouldn't drink yellow, brown water.
That's why the town and the province funded this filtration shed, where Carla Ash and other residents have to trek every day to collect all the clean water they need. But while residents point fingers at Wabana Town Council, the mayor points his finger at the province, saying there's just not enough money in the town coffers to fix kilometers of decaying pipes anytime soon.
And what's happening is the old pipe that was put back from the days of Des Moines Dasco is still in that ground, and probably the only thing keeping that pipe together is the soil that's in that ground.
While the town is replacing those lines one small section at a time, Carla Ash thinks it could happen faster if everyone were on board.
Come together and fight for us. Fight for clean water for Bell Island. Because right now, we're beating our heads off a wall. Nobody is fighting for us, but it has to be, something has to change before it's too late. It has to change.
Malone Mullen, CBC News, Bell Island.
Production is starting back up at the Hibernia oil platform nearly a month after an estimated 12,000 liters of oil spilled. The Hibernia Management and Development Company said in a statement today it has conducted a thorough review and it has been working with the offshore regulator to safely return to production. The company says it has determined the issue had to do with a storage cell that contained both oil and water, and it's changing its procedures to prevent such a spill from happening again. 3 weeks after going on strike, 38 Steel Honda employees are back at work. Technicians and office staff and parts and service staff voted on the offer early this morning. It's a 4-year contract with 2% wage increases each year. The Honda dealership changed hands from the Penny Group to the Steel Auto Group about a year ago. Steel shops charge a flat rate for mechanical work, and the new owners wanted the Honda shop to follow suit. But the union said there was no way workers were agreeing to that. Once the flat rate was taken off the table, workers were satisfied with the new contract.
So the dealerships that we represent in the city are all paid by the hour. They want to introduce what the mainland has, which is a flat rate system. They're not paid by the hour, they're paid by the job. So if the dealer says that a job takes an hour to do and it takes the technician an hour and a half, he only gets an hour's pay. And with our climate and the rust and everything else, it's just impossible to get the times that they're looking for.
He sold more than $1 million worth of legal cannabis, but Thomas H. Clark says his business is close to going bust. Now, Clark is an independent cannabis retailer in Portugal Cove, St. Phillips. He says the commission he makes on cannabis sales is too low, and unless the province raises the rates, small stores like his won't last. Here Now's Zach Gowdy has the story.
The cash register is burning up at Thomas H. Clark Distribution, but even the man whose name spells out THC says high sales aren't enough for a small business to succeed in the world of legal cannabis.
We're a little less than a year in, around 10 months in. I did $1.4 million in sales, and I'm just barely scraping by, Zach.
Clark says the problem is that profit margins set by the province are too low. Retailers earn an 8% commission on cannabis sales, a fairly low markup, but even that gets chipped away.
There's also a $1 a gram excise tax not included in there, so I'm making about 7.5%. If someone uses their credit card and I have to pay the credit card company 2.5%, then I'm only making 5%. There's no business in the world that could survive with a 5% margin.
Cannabis commissions are set by the Newfoundland and Labrador Liquor Corporation. 8% is the same rate that retailers get on alcohol sales. But in that world, too, independent stores are having a hard go. Many local convenience stores are closing, leaving only the big corporate players. Clark fears the same thing will happen to cannabis. Corporate giants like Tweed and Loblaws can make a go of it, but Clark says the little guys won't last. The province says it wants businesses like Clark's to be profitable and is planning a meeting to discuss their issues. But when it comes to legal cannabis, government has had its hands full.
We had to get beyond the supply issues, we had to get beyond the ordering issues. Now that most roads seem to have the bumps out of them, we need to focus on the profitability side of it.
The industry is in for another shakeup in December when edible cannabis products hit the market. That could give retailers like Clark another source of revenue. He just hopes that THC distribution won't be up in smoke by then. Zach Gowdy, CBC News, Portugal Cove, St. Phillips.
The province's Attorney General wants the Supreme Court of Canada to review the N. Norris case. Last year, a jury found Norris not criminally responsible for the death of Marcel Reardon. Norris killed Reardon with a hammer in St. John's back in 2016. The initial appeal was rejected. Now prosecutors are taking the matter a step further, filing an application with Canada's top court. But it's not automatic. The Supreme Court of Canada will have to decide whether or not to hear the case. Gas prices are down today across the province for the second straight week. The cost of a litre is cheaper by 3.3 cents. Diesel is down by roughly the same amount. Furnace and stove oil dropped by 2.5 pennies per litre. Propane prices remain unchanged. Summer is the season for construction, road work, and all other kinds of projects. True that. But a particular paint job caught eyes and a whole lot of attention in St. John's today. Take a look at this. This is the combination Tim Hortons Subway orange store near the St. John's International Airport. As you can see, the paint says drive true. An easy mistake to make, no doubt. Of course, it should say drive through, but it looks like the paint crew noticed the error pretty quickly. And as you can see, black spray paint has been sprayed over at least one of the trues. I guess this drive-through was too good to be true. Lots of people are flocking to Dildo this week. We'll take a look at some of the top things you can do there if you're planning a trip. Plus, Ashley's forecast is just ahead. Welcome back to Here and Now. It's more than just a name. As we've seen from the crowds, many people have been heading to Dildo to be a part of the excitement. So other than looking out for Jimmy Kimmel or his sidekick, what else can you do in Dildo? Now, according to TripAdvisor, here are the top 5 things you can do. Number 1, the Dildo Area Interpretation Center. Number 2, South Dildo Whaling and Sealing Museum. But please note that this is in South Dildo, and the locals will let you know that. You can stop into the Treasure Trove for gifts and souvenirs. Number 4, there's the Dildo Cove Heritage Experience and Motorboat Excursion. And number 5, another boat tour, the Island Boat Tours and Adventure. And as you might have seen throughout the week and tonight in our live shot, there's also the Dildo Brewing Company and a number of other coffee and craft shops to visit. So, Carolyn, that's what I have on my list, but I'm here in St. John's, you're in Dildo. What did you and Ashley get up to today?
Well, we had a great time. We came out here this morning and just walked around and took in some of the energy. And yes, it was a big Kimmel watch happening today, but there's still so much more to do. And we had some great conversations with great people, including some people here you're going to see. Well, there's more than people and beer here inside the Dildo Brewery today. We also have these delicious morsels. What's your name?
Bethany.
Can you tell me what you have set up here today?
Just a variety of flavors of different types of cupcakes.
What kind of flavors do you have here?
Some of them are the standard cupcake flavors, but I try to do some Newfoundland things, like the peppermint knob, the pineapple crush, which is a really popular one, and my favorite. And of course, the Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes, they look like they've been selling pretty well.
They have. That's the last two. So you
and
gotta get it now.
For sure. And how has business been today?
Oh, this has been crazy, in a good way.
Yeah.
It's been flat out.
Well, I guess, yeah, there are 2 Jimmy Kimmel cupcakes left, so they have to be ours, right, Ashley?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need a bit of sugar now to get us through this long day, so they're $3 each. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Do you want to cheers?
Cheers it.
Jimmy Kimmel cupcake.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And another thing you can do in Dildo today is watch a painter paint Dildo.
My name is Cliff George for short.
Okay. Where are you from, Cliff?
Originally originated from Wide Away, Trendy Bay. Yeah.
So you're not a Dildonian?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I went to work here for the first time in the fish plant when I was 15 years old, and I know everyone in the community. Because this place is a wonderful community. The people are kind, friendly. I can't wait to get up in the mornings to come here, and that was the last 3 weeks just to paint.
Well, you certainly have a great day for painting today. Is this where you're going to be all day?
I'm going to be here all day, and probably again tomorrow, and then I'm going to move on to Brigus and Bay de Verde.
Thanks so much for speaking with us.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Come back again, see it when it's finished.
Well, that was so much fun. Those cupcakes were delicious, weren't they, Ashley?
They were absolutely delicious.
Now, we are hearing reports that Jimmy Kimmel isn't coming, but you know what? That is not tempering any of the excitement that's happening here tonight. Here behind us, because of course there's still the recording of the show that's likely going to be happening here tonight, and it's election night, so we're going to see what happens there, and some fireworks later, so they have a pretty good night for it, right, Ashley?
Absolutely do. It sucks that Jimmy isn't here because he's missing a gorgeous day. Yeah, the wind not as strong as we saw yesterday. It is starting to pick up a little bit now, but yeah, an absolutely gorgeous day today. We take a look at some of the temperatures across the province. 18 degrees in St. John's right now, or earlier this afternoon. 24 degrees for Deer Lake, same for Corner Brook, and then up in Labrador, 17 degrees for Lab City, and Happy Valley Goose Bay sitting at 19 degrees. Nain in those double digits at 11. Now, as far as what we're seeing right now, temperatures dropped just a little bit, 16 degrees for St. John's, 24 for Badger, and then Cartwright sitting at 12 degrees right now. Now, we are also seeing some showers developing. They should taper off over the next couple of hours, and then up through Labrador as well, some lightning. I can't see that radar because there is no radar, but you can see some of that cloud cover down through the southeastern portion of the big land, and that's where we're seeing some of that lightning activity. Now, I do still have that chance of thunderstorms in for the next couple of hours for southeastern portions of Labrador, the Great Northern Peninsula, and then down into parts of central, or rather the interior as well. And then for the future tracker, as far as that's concerned, there's those showers, and they will taper off by the time the early morning rolls around. But it does look like we're going to see some cloudy periods towards the early morning hours. So here's your temperature. Still a lovely evening. Those winds out of the south for the metro area, 13 degrees tonight with 15 to 20 kilometer per hour winds. Grand Falls, Windsor still have that chance of showers in there. Same for Gander, but again, that will taper off by the time the early morning rolls around.
11 degrees for Corner Brook, and 11 for St. Anthony as well. Now up through Labrador, 11 degrees for Happy Valley Goose Bay overnight tonight. Looking at that chance of showers, potentially even a few thunderstorms. Then showers for Nain going down to 7 degrees. Now tomorrow, it looks like it'll be a quiet day again. Less showers than what we're seeing today, but a little bit more cloud cover it looks like. And then the best chance of seeing some thunderstorms will be for Labrador, mainly for central and eastern portions as well. But as far as those temperatures go, 21 degrees tomorrow in St. John's. Those winds shifting just a little bit, south-southeasterlies, and then a little breezy 20 to 30 kilometer per hour winds. Clarenville 21 degrees, same for Marystown. And then again, slight chance to see some pop-up afternoon showers. Twillingate 22 degrees, Grand Falls winds are 25, and then so those temperatures are starting to climb for the west coast as well. 26 degrees in Corner Brook. You're going to notice a little bit more humidity in there as well. And then up through Cartwright, 22 degrees. And then finally, Nain, you're going to see temperatures in and around the 19-degree mark. It's been since the end of July that you've seen temperatures that warm, so definitely welcome with those winds finally shifting. West-southwesterlies 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. Generally looking at temperatures in the 20s right across Labrador. Again, have that risk of thunderstorms in for Makovic and southeastern portions of the Big Land. Same for Happy Valley Goose Bay, 24 degrees, and then Lab City sitting at 19 with those winds west-southwesterly 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. So overall, not a bad forecast for tomorrow. Again, pretty similar to what we're seeing today. And as we head towards the weekend, it looks like it's pretty quiet. So
oh, good.
We'll look into
is
that.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Ashley. And you know, with all of this dildo talk, it got us thinking about some of the other place names in Newfoundland and Labrador that are worthy of getting the similar kind of attention for their interesting names. So we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. Reporting live from Dildo, I'm Carolyn Stokes for Here and Now.
Now this is the latest in local whale videos, and it's pretty spectacular. Not one, but 2 whales breaching. Now this video was recorded by Terry Stead from Musgrave Town on Saturday. He says moments before he recorded this, those whales had both jumped out of the water at the same time.
We're okay, Pappy.
That's incredible. Sometimes you get lucky when you have the camera out. And thanks for sending that in, man. We really appreciate that.
He's coming.
Double whale breach. Sorry. We'll be right back.
This week, the community of Dildo has been getting all of the attention thanks to its suggestive name, but there are plenty of other places in the province with names worthy of a blush and a wink. One of Dildo's close neighbors, located right across the bay, is the community of Spread Eagle. This is the best sign we could find. And if that doesn't make you giggle, then head west where you'll find the community of Come By Chance, which is across from Woody Island in Placentia Bay. Then head north to another bay, Conception Bay, and follow the shore up to the charming community of Hibbs Hole. And there's a romantic side to some of these place names, from Cupid's to Little Heart's Ease, all the way to Heart's Desire. So that's a little bit of fun, right? I have a few folks here with me now who are out and about enjoying all of this excitement in Dildo. Can you tell me your name?
I'm Karen Higdon and I'm from Dildo.
Okay, and your name?
Clara Higdon, I'm from Dildo.
Clara?
Hi, I'm Maggie Bott. I'm from Normansko. I'm her mother, Donna, from Normansko.
Nice. So I'll start with you guys. You're from here. What a week it's been.
It has been crazy, but it's been wonderful.
What do you know about what's going to be happening tonight?
Well, I know there's fireworks. We're hoping maybe Jimmy Kimmel will make a visit. We don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, there's still a lot of speculation going around about that. And Clara, what do you think of it all?
Crazy.
Crazy. And what have you been doing this past week? Have you been out enjoying everything?
Not really.
So I'm wondering, this is all starting to come to a point now. It's election night tonight. We're going to find out if Jimmy Kimmel is going to win the election. But you know what? When all of this is over, what do you think is going to happen here in Dildo? Will this have a lasting effect?
I think it will. I think you'll see more people want to come and actually see what we have here.
Yeah. And how many tourists have you been seeing around here?
Oh, they're coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
you
Jimmy
guys aren't
put Dildo on the map. He did.
Sure. And you guys aren't quite tourists because you're just from around the corner, right?
Yes, but we haven't been down around the beach side in a while, and I like it. It's a lot of excitement, and we need that for our little towns,
It seems like it's a lot of positivity.
Oh, yes, for sure.
What are your hopes going forward? Once all of this kind of wraps up, do you hope it'll have a long-term positive effect on Dildo?
I think it will. I think we're always going to remember it. It's going to stay in people's hearts.
Yeah, but you...
And a lot of people never heard of Dildo or even Newfoundland, really. And now it's on the map, it's famous, and it's exciting. It is exciting.
Are you guys heading over to the brewery?
Yes, we want to see the new drink I think they got made.
Yeah, Kimmel, it's called?
Yes, Kimmel? Okay. I'd like to try that.
Well, I'll let you guys go do that. Thank you so much for speaking with me. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, it's so nice meeting you. Thank you. So yeah, just a lot of positivity going around here in Dildo. Still some speculation that Jimmy Kimmel might show up, but we are hearing reports that he probably won't. We'll see, right? It's
and
fun
Matt
anyways.
Damon, he might be running against him.
That would be something. Yeah. All right, well that's it for me here in Dildo.
Hi, everybody! We love dildos!
Well, he was a little bit reluctant to visit at first, but it looks like Guillermo is enjoying his time in Dildo this week. He's obviously one of the most popular tourist attractions, but you won't find him there every week, that's for sure. Now, Here and Now continues in just a few minutes. It's a long way from LA to Dildo.
told that the report, if it's going to be delivered before the end of the year, has to be provided to the Queen's printer for printing by December the 12th. So, you know, I have a large amount of work to do in a relatively short period of time, and the pressure is on, and I'm certainly feeling it. I think for all parties involved, including my own sanity, I think the date of December 31st is an adequate one at this stage of the game.
The Muskrat Falls inquiry concluded in Happy Valley Goose Bay today. Commissioner Richard LeBlanc heard final submissions. And also in the spotlight, the conduct of the very government that launched the inquiry. Here now's Jacob Barker reports.
These are the final moments of the Muskrat Falls inquiry. Staff have poured over 6 million documents, submitting 4,500 to the commissioner for consideration. Over 100 different witnesses testified. The commission spent $13 million and worked countless hours.
Many of us, including myself, have worked 7 days a week, and you know, we knew what we were getting into, so it's not like it was a shock or anything like that.
And this is where it all began last September in Happy Valley Goose Bay. The people who live here have to live with the project right in their backyard.
Well, I think it was very appropriate and proper for us to both start and finish here because the impact on Labrador is great, and the people of Labrador are certainly affected by it in a very direct way.
But the concerns raised locally about methyl mercury contamination created by the dam and the stability of the North Spur fall outside the scope of the inquiry.
Obviously, the project impacts on Labradorians in every possible way, from the environmental impacts, the socioeconomic impacts, but also the cost of the projects, which are going to be borne by taxpayers and ratepayers. So certainly the impacts aren't limited, but the scope that we had was limited.
But questions about those impacts and how the government handled them were aired today, including questions about the government's recent blunder, which saw the deadline to mitigate methyl mercury by capping wetlands miss.
However, in contrast to the significant body of evidence explaining why the executive accepted the recommendation for wetland capping, the consensus recommendation, there's no evidence, absolutely no evidence, that Mr. Ball intentionally delayed responding to the IEAC recommendations in order to make it impossible to carry out physical mitigation in the reservoir, or failed to conduct himself in good faith in dealing with this issue.
The position that Ball and Cody took was that they can't be held responsible for what the government has done or not done or failed to do, and so they're abdicating responsibility. In my view, I don't think that in any real sense we can say that a premier isn't responsible for the actions or failure to act of their government.
Now Commissioner LeBlanc has to sit down and write his report. It's due on New Year's Eve.
This commission of inquiry is concluded.
Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Still in Labrador, the RCMP say a search for a downed float plane has been suspended. The plane crashed in a remote northern lake last month. On board were 4 anglers, 2 fishing guides, and a pilot. The bodies of 4 men, including 2 guides from this province, were recovered, but 3 people are still missing and presumed dead. The police say right now there aren't any new leads to help them narrow down the search area in what's described as a massive body of water. Police say that they will continue to do flyovers as weather permits. The Prime Minister and some of his cabinet are on the campaign trail today, even though it hasn't officially begun yet. But questions about the SNC-Lavalin affair continue to dog the Liberals following yesterday's release of a scathing report by the Ethics Commissioner. Justin Trudeau was asked about the report during a visit to New Brunswick.
I'm not going to apologize for standing up for Canadians' jobs, because that's my job, to make sure that Canadians and communities and pensioners and families across the country are supported, and that's what I will always do.
Former Cabinet Minister Jane Philpott was ejected from the Liberal caucus for supporting Jody Wilson-Raybould. In an interview with CBC's Power and Politics today, the now independent MP said there are other details about the SNC-Lavalin controversy that have yet to emerge.
As it relates to a matter like the independence of the justice system, as it relates to the particular issue that we're dealing with here, I think Canadians want to know that they've heard the full story, and there's a certain amount of transparency that is obviously not in existence at the moment.
With plastic pollution now rampant throughout the world's most populous regions, it's not a total surprise that signs of contamination are showing up in the remote Arctic, but scientists still find it disheartening.
It was kind of a punch to the stomach to see what looked like a normal sea ice core chock full of this material, which is completely foreign to the environment.
Now, evidence of microscopic plastic has shown up in snow and ice near the Northwest Passage. Ice cores drilled in the Arctic by a U.S.-led team of scientists reveal the threat to marine life in what were thought to be pristine waters. The samples were retrieved during a recent 18-day icebreaker expedition. Visible plastic beads and filaments of various shapes and sizes appear to be concentrated in the ice. The research project is investigating the effect of human-caused climate change on the Arctic. 100 million tons of plastics have been dumped in the world's ocean to date, according to UN estimates. A popular swimming hole in New Brunswick is brimming with goldfish, likely the offspring of unwanted pets. They do make for unusual swimming companions, but they have the potential to wreak havoc on the local ecosystem.
What is swimming around your feet right now?
I believe it's goldfish.
How many would you say are in here?
I've seen about 20 or 30.
What's it like to swim with the goldfish?
Oh, it's a different experience for sure. Goldfish, it's such a weird thing to see, to be honest, in a public area like this.
Goldfish are something we found in and around Greater St. John and across North America really for a long time. It's quite likely, I would think, that it was someone's pet that they released not wanting to care for it anymore or something like that. Goldfish are voracious feeders. They're actually a form of carp from Asia, so they do feed a great deal, and anything that is that hungry and voracious can outcompete our native everything from brook trout to smaller minnows and things like that. They grow to the size of the environment. You're used to seeing a goldfish at home, stays relatively small, at most the size of your hand if it's in a tank or a fishbowl. Well, when they're released in the wild, they can grow much larger than that, sometimes even a couple feet long.
They're the biggest goldfish I've ever seen.
They look like big orange carrots.
I touched one with my hand.
What was that like?
Like touching a goldfish. It was a little slimy.
And thanks to the CBC's Julia Wright in Springfield, New Brunswick, for bringing us that slimy story. Yeah, you can see the Dildo Brewing Company patio is filled with people tonight on a sunny night in Dildo. Ashley will have her weather forecast coming up after the break.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Gorgeous night here on the wharf in Dildo. Lots of action behind us. People enjoying the brewery and some nice live music. The wind has picked up a bit though. Ashley?
Yeah, just a little bit. We are seeing a little bit of a sea, well, I don't know, I guess it would be a little bit of a sea breeze, but anyway, the winds have picked up. Tomorrow though, temperatures are going to be a couple of degrees warmer than what we're seeing today. Let's take a look at that forecast just in case you missed it a little bit earlier. Those temperatures sitting around 21 degrees for St. John's, same for Clarenville, and then as we head towards Central, that's where those temperatures get a little bit warmer. You're going to start to feel a little bit more humidity with that as well. 26 degrees it looks like should be the afternoon high for Corner Brook. Plenty of sunshine, but again, the slight chance we could see some pop-up showers, and the best chance of seeing the showers will actually be up through Labrador, and we could even hear a few rumbles of thunder with that as well. Temperature finally reaching 19 degrees for Nain, which it hasn't done in since the end of July, so definitely welcome there. And then temperature around 21 degrees for Churchill Falls. Now, I mentioned it's going to be quiet for the next couple of days, a little bit earlier. So tomorrow, certainly into Saturday, not a whole lot happening either. Maybe just a slight chance of some pop-up showers. Again, very much like we're seeing today and yesterday. And then even into the evening hours, maybe some showers will move through Labrador. Otherwise, it does look like generally fair skies. The best chance of seeing some showers will be into Sunday though, as we start to get into a little bit more unsettled weather. Doesn't look like we'll see too much in that way, but here's your Saturday forecast. So temperatures back into the 20s yet again, 26 degrees for Corner Brook, same for Grand Falls, Windsor, 22 degrees it looks like for St. John. So those temperatures will start to climb even more so as we round out the weekend. 18 degrees again in Nain, and 24 degrees for Cartwright. So here's a look at your 5-day forecast. There's your 20-degree temperatures. As we head into the beginning of next week, that's when the temperatures will reach the mid-20s. So 24, 25 degrees it looks like for St. John's, Eastern Newfoundland. Best chance of showers, again, likely on Sunday. Won't be much though, at least that's not what it looks like right now. For Central Newfoundland, showers tomorrow, and then it looks like it will be generally sunny or a mix of sun and cloud through the weekend. Beautiful though, 26 degrees, 28 by the time Monday and Tuesday rolls around. And then again, with that humidity. So it's gonna feel a couple of degrees warmer with that humidex. For Western Newfoundland, 26 degrees tomorrow, generally in that mid to high 20s right along or right through the week into midweek next week. And then showers possible for both Saturday and Sunday. Eventually, that sunshine will return for both Monday and Tuesday. Now, for the big land, eastern portions anyway, looking at showers, maybe even some thunderstorms again tomorrow. And then 25 degrees for Saturday. Beautiful Saturday in store. Sunday, return of that chance of showers, but staying in that 20-degree range right into Tuesday, sitting around 19 degrees. And then for Western Labrador, 19 tomorrow, 22 for Saturday, looking at plenty of sunshine, and then some showers to round out the weekend, and starting for next week, around 18 degrees by the time Tuesday rolls around. So just before we go to break, talking about thunderstorms, there's a look at a shot that was sent to us by Gracie, and I want to know where you think that's taken. It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah? I can't see it.
No, you can't see it.
I can't see it.
Welcome back to Here and Now. All 233 passengers and crew survived a bumpy emergency landing southeast of Moscow after several birds were sucked into the engines of their Airbus aircraft. Now, the airline was en route to Crimea and was only 2 minutes into its journey when it collided with a flock of gulls, sparking an engine fire. Passengers say the plane shook and lights flickered, but they got no warning they were about to crash land. With engines shut down, the pilots landed in a cornfield with landing gear retracted. Passengers made their way through the field to get assistance at the airport they had just left. Now, more than 70 people, including 19 children, were treated for injuries. 6 were taken to hospital. With no fatalities, the pilots are being praised as heroes. Firefighters are still at the scene of a house explosion in southwestern Ontario. About 100 homes had to be evacuated last night after a car crashed into a house, hitting the gas line.
This sound, it was intense. It shook me inside. It was an explosion. It sounded like a bomb went off.
Now, flames could be seen shooting into the sky into the night from kilometers away. The house that exploded is now being described as a hole in the ground. 6 other houses are also badly damaged. No one was killed, but 7 people were injured. One of them, a firefighter who's still in hospital in serious but stable condition. A 23-year-old woman faces 5 charges related to impaired driving. The community is already pulling together to help people who are forced from their homes, offering up food and other donations. So I think, so we're going to throw it back to Carolyn and Ashley in Dildo, and we're going to find out where that picture of the day was taken. I saw it, but I have no idea, and I was trying to rack my brain to see where there were thunderstorms last night in your forecast, but I don't think I paid attention to it, so I have no idea. So if you want to give us
Good thinking, Jeremy. Yeah, good thinking, except it wasn't taken last night, so.
Oh. Well, there goes that theory.
Photo. There that goes. We'll take a look at that photo one more time. My love of thunderstorms runs very deep.
Yes.
So I love when we get these photos taken. It was actually taken in Bay of Islands.
The beautiful Bay of Islands.
The beautiful Bay of Islands on the west coast. Have yet to get there, but so thunderstorm over Bay of Islands. Grace LeDrew sent us that wonderful photo. I guess sunsets, thunderstorms, clouds. I love it all.
Yeah, it's all great.
It's all great. Anything weather related, obviously, or plane related, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. Your 2 loves.
Yeah,
planes
that's right.
and weather.
Aviation and weather, yeah. And baseball. That's my 3rd one, I guess.
Oh, cool. Well, Ashley, I was wondering, because you've been here for about 10 months or so here in Newfoundland and Labrador. If someone had told you a year ago that you would be in Newfoundland, in Dildo, waiting to see if Jimmy Kimmel was going to show up, what would you think?
I have no idea. A friend of mine pointed out the other day I was in their backyard and last night or the night before, and now I'm here. So it's kind of funny how things work out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's recap. There is going to be an election tonight. No sign of Jimmy Kimmel, by the way, and we have been hearing that he is not coming tonight, but the election is supposed to happen. So how that's going to work is, of course, this is a local services district, and they have committee members, 7 committee members, and so Jimmy Kimmel needs to get 4 votes tonight, apparently, and then he becomes an honorary mayor of Dildo, but he does have some competition potentially. A lot of people talking about Matt Damon being the opposing candidate as well as a local candidate. So fireworks expected here tonight. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm sure a lot of people will be tuning in to Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight to find out what happens.
Now, Carolyn and Ashley, there's going to be fireworks here in the studio if none of those cupcakes made it back to St. John's.
Sorry.
They're gone.
Gone. I think she sold out. I'm pretty sure. I saw her leaving the building with an empty case. She's definitely sold out. Sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah, no doubt, because they looked awesome. I wanted one of every flavor.
There are growlers inside, though, but,
Well, yeah, now when I was there, I did try the Jimmy Kim Ale when our shift was over, and it was delicious, but the cupcakes looked good as well. Anyway, so that's... Well, that's Ashley and that's Carolyn. They are in Dildo, so we'll say thanks, thanks girls for hanging out there and keeping an eye out for Jimmy Kimmel. And that's it for us in Here and Now. We'll see you.